in Revelation 17. So here, John is receiving an angelic vision about the Antichrist king who will come into the world. And the angel tells him that this wicked king, the Antichrist, is an eighth king that belongs to 7 kings from the kingdom of that time. Now, most scholars here refer to how in this vision, the angel tells John that the beast will come from a kingdom also that sits on 7 hills. Well, at the time period, the kingdom or nation known for being the one that sits on 7 hills was Rome. And as you can see here in this commentary, in this commentary, in this commentary, Rome is always mentioned as the kingdom on 7 hills. And so many scholars argue that the Antichrist somehow will be linked to Rome because it mentions that he belongs to the 7 kings that were known from coming from this kingdom on 7 hills. And these 7 kings were known to be ruling the region around the time of this letter. And so when it says that the 8th king, the Antichrist, will come from these 7 kings, people notice that link there. And so look at what it says. Revelation 17:11. The beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. So how can that be possible? How can an 8th king come from kings who ruled before him? Well, let's look at what it says in the verse before this. Revelation 17:8. And look at how it says he will come back onto the scene. Very interesting. The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to its destruction. The inhabitants of the earth whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come. So we see again, he is referring to the Antichrist. Because when the Antichrist arrives, the world will worship him, be amazed by him. And the key is this. The angel interprets the vision to John, saying the beast, the Antichrist, once was, meaning at one point he was alive. Now is not, meaning that at the time of this vision he is dead, but will come up out of the abyss at some point in the future, and will then be marveled by when the world sees him, because again, he once was, now is not, and will come again. When we go to tools, we see here that the word for abyss is the word abyssos, and it is the same word that is used for the bottomless pit, hell, the place for wicked spirits, especially the abode of demons. So many argue that if the angel here is saying that the Antichrist will be a man who was once alive, but during the time of this letter is not, but yet will rise up out of the abyss, it clearly seems to be saying that the Antichrist will arise from the pit of hell. And the only way for a man to be in hell is if he was at one point alive. Here it speaks about the 2 witnesses. And again, the 2 witnesses will prophesy and they will testify. They will be given power and authority from the Holy Spirit for 3.5 years. And then what happens? The Antichrist will rise against them. And where does it say he arises from? The abyss, or the bottomless pit. That was a scene from the Unmasking Antichrist documentary. It gets deeper. Watch the rest of the video on our YouTube channel, AOC Network.